And so we're at cruising altitude, and it's a 42-minute flight. So my question to the untire of knots is, can you show me how to do this in less than 42 minutes?
I'm Barry Griffith with HeroMakers Collective. Thank you for participating in our 30-day challenge. 30 days to discover your identity, hear God's voice, and walk into the more you were made for. If you missed the first half of this airplane story, you'll want to check out yesterday's post. But I just love this question we have before us. So I've got 42 minutes. Can you work in 42 minutes? Can you speak to me? Can we really work this thing out? I don't know. Maybe you've got some deadlines, you've got some difficulties, or you've got a limited time left in something that is on your heart and you're wondering, can God speak to me? Can this thing really still work out? You'll be encouraged by today's story from Jamie.
So my question to the untire of knots is, can you show me how to do this in less than 42 minutes? Because the person was on their way to their Caribbean getaway to rest. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, And you mean like destined? No, further than that. So, okay. So it's like, so wealthy person, just moved here, Silicon Valley, exactly the demographic I'm gonna go talk to. So the person finally says to me, what is it that you do? Yeah, and I'm like, what do I do? What should I say? There's a lot of answers to that question. Some ask the Lord, what do I do? And I say to the person, this seemed appropriate, I work with people that are in conflict. And the person goes, well, yeah, okay, that's a lot of people. And I said, I know. How do you work with them in conflict? Well, it's about identity, actually. It's more about identity than conflict. Really, yeah, what does that mean? And I said, well, like for example, and I wanted to say something that would really like, bing, shift the conversation all the way over to an area where they're not familiar. And I said, well, for example, when you're dealing with radical Muslim terrorists, they just went. And I just looked. That's what I said, yep. It's harder than a dinker at night. And the person said, what do you do? And I said, well, here's what we do. First, we get them to make a list of all the names that they call themselves that hurt them. You know, I say to the person, have you had people in your life that have said things about you that hurt your feelings? Yes. But they go deep, they last for years, don't they? Yes, I'm divorced, yes, yes. Could you list those names? Yes, I could. That's what we make them do, write them down. In fact, we just sit out at night in the desert because the desert is sacred to them. And we sit out there and we just write down all the names I believe about myself that are not true and they hurt me. I'm a disappointment, write them down like that. And the person just sits back in their seat and just leans their head back. And I said, and then we envision unconditional love with us. It's not in us, it's of us. It's with us, and it wants to be with us. Unconditional love, whatever that is. Beautiful, unconditional love, truth, and beauty is with us. And we give false names to unconditional love, and we let them go, and we watch them go. 22 minutes, here we go, down into Atlanta. Let them go. And then, when they're gone, then we look up into the night sky and say, God, or love, what do you call me? And then they come back after they've been out there all night and they come back around the fire as the sun's coming up and we go around the room and say, what did God call you? What did love say about you? And they start to say, and what did God call you? Poet. What did God call you? Beloved. Not Muslim Christian. No, poet, beloved. Healer. And the person next to me goes, warrior. Warrior. The person heard God call them on the plane, warrior. And they just yelled it out. It was so funny. I was going, poet, healer, warrior. I am warrior. Identity. Only God gives identity like that. Why is God talking to this disheveled person who doesn't probably know a lot about God? Because he throws the seed everywhere. And it's just our part to be witnesses and help that ground soften up. It's called witnessing. I've seen this happen with Muslims out in the desert. It's happened in my own life. It can happen on this little tiny plane descending into Atlanta. What does love call you? What does God call you? Disappointed, divorced? No, warrior. And that person was so thrilled they didn't know what to do. We land, we go into the airport, we part ways, give them my phone number. That person has been texting me every single day from a beautiful, gorgeous place in the Caribbean. Look where the warrior is today, that kind of thing. And every single day, cannot wait to get back up here and get in a community that knows identity, can hear from God like that. Yes. Yeah.
I'm thankful for this community that we can dive into some of these things with hearing God and walking it out. Now, on this short 42-minute flight, Jamie met a chaotic and weary traveler carrying years of hurtful words. In that brief window, God gave him a brand new name, Warrior. The point isn't the number of minutes. The point is that God speaks to us in real time, on planes, in traffic, in the middle of life's chaos. You don't need the perfect time. You don't need the perfect setting or extended quiet time without distractions. You just need to ask. That passenger walked off the plane with a new name. Not disappointed, not failure, not alone, but warrior. That's what can happen when we let go of the lies and listen to the voice of God. It can happen anywhere. It can happen to you, and it can happen through you. I don't know what you're facing today. I don't know if it feels impossible. I don't know if there's serious time constraints. But let's jump into our challenge, give it all to Jesus, and see what happens. If today's challenge seems a little familiar, it's because it should be. These aren't just one and done. They're daily rhythms. And today we're focusing on the fact that you don't need hours. You just need to focus on Him in the time you have. First, we're going to take the next few minutes, wherever you are, that's your window, that's your time, and name the lies. What is it that we're believing? Next, take those, write them down, and then give them to Jesus. Those false names, those hurtful words, or anything that's clinging to you, hand them over. Picture handing them directly to Jesus, and imagine, picture, think, what does He do with them? What does He give you in exchange? Ask Him, what do you call me right now? Who do you say that I am? Receive the moment. Don't wait for that perfect silence. Trust that God can speak to you here and now. And in this window, take a minute to comment or discuss in your group. What word, picture, idea, thought? What happened? What did He give you in your time, in that window of time today? Share it with the group. This is more than just a testimony. This is a confession, which empowers what God is saying to you and will bring encouragement to others. Thank you for joining us for today's challenge. If you want more information on our HeroMakers Collective community, why we created it, and where we're going, check out this video up here.